What is good, YouTube? So on today's video I want to show you some of last year's haulbacks, and I would really love it if the people watching would tell me which one they would choose and why, if you was to say win one of the snakes I show off as a, let's say, a competition prize as an example. I'd really love to get feedback on what people really like out of the kind of the small group I show. But more so, I want to know why you would want that snake, what it would do for you, what direction it would go, etc. Because they're not all going to be like super pretty, very like beautiful pet looking ball pythons, but some more genetically powerful, basic tools for the industry, tools for the projects moving forward. Just before I move on, if you're one of these people who suit these wider, these are wide hats, a bit wider than I anticipated. It's a snapback cap, so it's got kind of the skater boy vibe, or gangster if you're a gangster. They're really nice. The stitching's nice. The hats are nice. They're really nice caps, but they just don't suit that many people because they are that kind of wide vibe. But anyway, they don't suit me, and I'm really gutted because I love it. I think they're really nice. But anyway, if you leave a comment and if you want to be put into a draw to see who I might throw one or two out there. Well, I'll definitely throw one, might do two or three if there's a good few. But at the moment my video is not getting a whole lot of views because I've been so slack with YouTube, so I've got to obviously build it back up. So it's a great opportunity for those who have come in early to potentially win a cap. But anyway, if you want to be in with a chance to win one, just put hat at the beginning of your comment and then the rest of your comment about the snake you would choose. So guys, without further ado, let's jump into these cool snakes. But let me just ask one more question. Do you want an update on my goals for the season? Because this is a bit of an off-the-cuff video. I didn't really know what to film today, but I promised I would do a video, so here I am. But I'm looking at all these girls and I was thinking, shall I do, you know, some of my pairings, some of what I'm aiming for, you know, what directions I'm going in and stuff. There's so many snakes I could have shown, like, I could have really flexed on the video, but I thought, no, I won't go too hard just yet. Anyway, let me know if you want the cap. Let me know which is your favourite snake. Cheers. Right, guys. So here's the first one. So this is a Cyprus yellow belly red stripe krypton, 100% het hypo, possible het DG. Now I know I've shown this male off on a previous video, but I don't think he's missed a beat with colour, and it's something as a professional breeder you want to make snakes that go on to be outstanding adults as well as genetically powerful. So I just thought, because I'm doing like an off-the-cuff video, because like I said, I was struggling a little bit to decide what to shoot a video on, because two of the egg cuttings, the results wasn't that impressive. So I thought, right, well, we'll just do a little bit of an update on what I've hatched, what I've kept, and ask the viewers what they like best, to gauge what the market's kind of almost getting into, stroke asking for. So this is, I'll be honest, one of my absolute favourite haulbacks of recent years, because there's nothing I don't like about the snake. He eats well, he's growing well, he could be considerably larger, but because I'm not planning to use him just yet, I haven't been pushing him, and you know, time is on my hands with this particular snake. I don't really need this snake, that's the truth, but it was too nice not to keep. So that's the first one. So here's another haulback. So this is a Bongo blackhead yellow belly, believed to be red gene, and it could also be red stripe, but now this snake has put on a little bit more size. I don't think it is red stripe. It's 100% net clown, it's a male. Just wanted to hold it back because I want to mess around a little bit more with Bongo in blackhead, obviously benefiting by yellow belly. And if red gene is in this snake, I want to see what I can do with red gene. I do believe it is because of its mother, similar characteristics with its mother, you know, looking past the extra genes. So this is a really granity vibe. It's not the most genetically powerful snake I've kept, but you know, let him see one or two females, see what I can do with it, see what, you know, cool things I can make, and I'd like to get it into the hypo. It's this kind of really drawn out granity pattern that intrigues me, and I want to see what I can do, but I want to add a little bit more definition. You see how it's got nice blushing, but its definition isn't super impressive. One of the genes I would add further down the line is something to bring a little bit more definition between the blushing and the patterns, and I'd like to bring out more of this kind of pixelation. So yeah, just a really cool snake. And next I'll pull out something equally as kind of dark, kind of similar look, but a little bit different gene, so a little bit different vibe. So this is the snake I was talking about. So you can see a little bit similar, not super same, but a little bit similar. So this is a stranger black pastel red stripe het clown. This is also a male. Kind of wish it was a female, because with males I like them to be as powerful as I can, and you know, with females it can be a little bit less powerful because they're not seeing obviously multiple snakes. A female will see maybe 1 or 2 males in a season if you're doing kind of a who's your daddy clutch, but a male will see many. So this is another one that ain't super genetically powerful for me, but really like it. And you can see this one's got a red stripe, it's beautiful colour, the black pastel is really shining through, and then the stranger's kind of accentuating the pattern, kind of, you know, basically broadening all the teardrops, you know, bringing that kind of what's the word, kind of more open pattern to it. So I just thought I'd hang on to this, really like it. And now I'll get another male out that's even, well, it's damn near identical to this one. So here's the next one, and it's actually just nailed me. You can see a little bit of blood on my finger. I'll keep wiping it off, but because they have an anticoagulant in their saliva, it's just going to keep bleeding. So this is exactly the same as the last one, but adding yellow belly. So this is a stranger black pastel red stripe yellow belly het clown male. Initially I kept them both because I wanted to see which females they was going to potentially go to, and if them females had a yellow belly, because obviously I don't want to pair this necessarily to a snake with yellow belly producing ivories. But I think I can use some females without yellow belly, so I could in theory sell the last male. So on that note, if anybody's interested in that particular snake, let me know to see if we can work out a deal. So like I say, stranger black pastel red stripe yellow belly het clown. He's staying really balled up. He's a little bit unhappy that I've got him out, so I'm going to put him back. But I just really like that granity look, and I'm a big homie. Mike in New York will probably like this snake because he loves the kind of super granity stuff, the sort of like paint stuff. That's a gene I'm yet to add. But yeah, just really like these snakes. So here's one of my absolute favourites of last season, just because I really love how this one's turned out. So this is black pastel red stripe Mahogany or stranger, but I do believe it's Mahogany clown. It could be het hypo, it's a possible het hypo, but I don't think it's necessarily going to prove out. It's not because I don't think the snake is, it's just the mother or sire of this particular snake was post het hypo, so there's no kind of guarantees. But if the mother or sire is het hypo, then obviously this is a possible het. So just absolutely love the colour. It's so close to a reddy orange, that's what I'll say, because I don't think we've achieved red in these ball pythons yet, but this is kind of getting close. So I love this female, and this is one that's definitely not going to go anywhere. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to show you its sibling now, but it's deep in shed and it doesn't look its best, but it's so crazy different to this one. So let me just repeat myself here. This snake is deep in shed, but you can see that underlining colour and pattern. I will show it off on a future video. It's got a little bit of water on its back end there. So this is a stranger Mahogany black pastel yellow belly red stripe clown. Now the reason I've ideated it as that is because when I was kind of piecing the genes together with its siblings, this is the most gene packed snake, and obviously stranger Mahogany bring a really dark, like almost blank kind of canvas, and then black pastel. Obviously you get the stranger blushing. The black pastel and the red stripe have brought the beautiful colour, which you're going to struggle to see on this particular video, and the red stripe brings the kind of reds. It's mad because at the head it's got nothing to speak of pattern wise, and then near the tail it gets more pattern, more pixelated. I absolutely love this. Although it's not the most visually pleasing, like if it was a pet snake, this isn't the vibe I would want. But as a breeder, as an asset moving forward, this snake is absolutely amazing and one of my favourites. Right, so the last two for today's video are bongos, but the next one's got a very, very rare gene in it. So I'm going to show this one off first. So this is a bongo yellow belly red striped clown, to the best of my IDing knowledge efforts. Love bongo, quite late to get into the gene, but I really love the depth of colour on this snake. Love the pixelation. It really interesting dorsal stripe, how you get all this pattern within the dorsal stripe. Obviously this one's been quite shy. Slight head stamp, and obviously you get silver eyes with bongos. You get a little bit of silver in the interesting little characteristic from bongo, and that's not the light reflection. If I filmed it right, it's not, at least. So this is, like I said, the bongo red stripe yellow belly clown. Now the next one is adding Jackal. So Jackal's my gene, and I will say, I'll be the first to say, it's nowhere near as nice colour. So what I'm trying to do with Jackal is see what genes really, really work well. Now I know Wookie does, and a few others. I'm not going to go too much into Jackal because I'm going to do a video on Jackal. But this, and you get the Jackal. Now let me just rewind. I don't know if this is het Jackal or visual Jackal, and it's definitely not the super Jackal, if there is a super. Now you're probably thinking, hang on, Paul, how can it be possibly a het or possibly a visual, as in the non-recessive form, and how could it have a super if it was obviously a recessive gene? The truth is, I know I've got the gene. I know the gene is legit because I've got about 30 odd snakes with Jackal in now, but I don't know if it's a very expressive form in its het form, like some snakes are. So if this was het Jackal, but it changes the kind of colour and adds all this, which I don't think is the case. I think this is single gene Jackal, because with some of the combos, they haven't been that expressive. So I thought, well, is that either a gene that kind of overplays the Jackal, or is it a case of Jackal's actually recessive? But no, I think this is one copy of Jackal. But there is a couple of snakes that have these telltale markers, but not much else going on. So the telltale markers are this really blushed out back end, and a lot of my Jackals have this. It's a real characteristic in the gene. This side has it less, but it still has that like popcorn look. But this one has the really blushed out tail. It blushes out. Now, like I say, lots of my Jackals have this. Both very shy. One characteristic about Jackal that this snake isn't too bad with is they're very bitey. But you can see the real blushed out, more uniform pattern. Well, it's not necessarily more uniform, but you get much more blushing, whereas this is not as blushed. Now, I'm not 100% convinced this has got red stripe. I think that's what's giving that really nice, like, buttery colour. Really beautiful colour. Where this one, but when you look at them, very similar, but this has got a wackier pattern, slightly wider than this one, and it's a bit more jagged, a bit more wacky. This is a little bit straighter. This is all jagged, really jagged. If you look at all the kind of pixelation where it is all like crisscross, like jaggy, whereas this is much straighter throughout. Very straight. So yeah, two beautiful snakes. Do you know what? I'll just pull one more out. I'll pull another Jackal combo out just to kind of remind you what it can do. So this is the Jackal Cinnamon Clown, but I actually believe it to be the Super Jackal Cinnamon Clown. It's exceptionally bitey. It'll probably nail me during this, or maybe attempt to. It's got amazing colour. I really love the colour low down. This sort of like bright yellow where it meets the white. It's almost got a pearlescent about it. And it goes to kind of the cinnamon's dominating the colour in this one, I think. Jackal is quite a light coloured gene, but it's it doesn't necessarily work perfectly with cinnamon in my case, in my opinion, sorry. And you can see what I'm talking about with the tail, where it kind of blushes out. It kind of creates, I'm just trying not to get bit. creates this high point. It's very subtle in this because I do believe this is the super, so this is a full expression where it's affecting all the animal, where it's not the single gene. But yeah, really pretty. I love this snake, but it's just him and his brother. They're just horrible. So bitey, so aggressive. But yeah, so let me know, guys, which snake, if I was going to let you take one home to be yours forever, which one would you pick and why would it be? Right, guys, so I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Like I say, let me know which snakes you like best. If you want to be in with a chance of winning that hat in the background, I'll definitely do 2, but I might throw out some more. If I get more than 20 entries, I'll do 3. If it's 10 to 15, I'll do 2. And if it's under 10, I'll just do 1. So yeah, if you want to be in with a chance, just start your comment with hat. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a like. If you haven't, give it 2 dislikes, and I'll catch you without question next week. Cheers, guys.